Hey folks, welcome to the Freakopolis Times, our podcast mostly about stuff related to our comics and game shop, the Freakopolis Geekery. We're Ian, Tyler, and Troy, and we run the shop and talk to people all the time, just like in this podcast. Join us and some occasional guests as we talk comics, games, pop culture, and just about anything else that pops up. Remember, while some of our topics may get a little geeky, they change up pretty often, so hang in there and maybe the next one will be more your style. By the way, this podcast is video enhanced on YouTube and Spotify. Check it out that way if you like visuals with your talk. You never know what might show up. Now, let's do the show.
Yeah! What episode is this?
This is episode 17.
17. Sweet 17.
Yes. Recording around the end of September 2022.
Dang. And what a September it has been.
Which included our village's amazing Sasquatch calling festival.
Yes, if you didn't know, not only are we the home of Homeland. Exactly. But Sasquatch dwells in these woods.
So we're told, and hence we have a Sasquatch calling festival, which happens basically right outside the front doors of the Geekery.
Yeah, right across the way. Really, it was pretty phenomenal. Really beautiful weather. Super fantastic day for our village. Great people. Yeah, the park looked awesome. There's a ton of vendors. And, of course, everyone's favorite local comics and game shop.
We're, of course, a sponsor. And coincidentally, it's been around about exactly the same amount of time the Geekery has.
That's funny, huh?
Yeah, they basically started at virtually the same time. The Geekery was underway, and that first
Sasquatch Calling Festival occurred.
It cropped up. It spun out of what was the village's winter festival, which kind of had a little, that was one of the special events of the winter festival was the calling festival.
Yeah. But it merited its own thing. It merited becoming its own festival.
It became its own thing right around the same time as we'd been open, I think, 3 months or something like that. And they did their, got it going.
It's evolved and gotten a lot bigger. There was a beer garden just across the street with some craft brews and some wines and
food trucks, lots of food, vendors.
Yeah, totally. Whole park was full of vendors. And
there were thousands of visitors.
I think this might have been the biggest one yet, which is pretty cool for sure. And they had a pretty cool lineup from about 11 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon, culminating, of course, with the calling contest itself of just panels and speakers and specialists. Experts. Yeah.
And perfect upstate New York end of summer weather.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
Just ideal. And there was a lot of, the vendors they came in from a lot of different areas. So there was a lot of cool vendors. Of course, we had a really nice traffic in the Geekery because of it. So altogether, it was a pretty great experience. I don't think there was any particular issues. It's pretty cool that we got an event that major. And I think there were a couple of village police officers that strolled through the place
I'm sure,
on occasion. That was about it.
It's a pretty casual affair, yeah.
No Sasquatch attacks or anything.
No, right?
Like
even in spite of all the calls and stuff, we failed to agitate one so far.
Yeah, you never know. Like, if somebody's successful, will they just make them mad?
Yeah.
Will that be what happens?
You don't want to deal with an angry Sasquatch.
Right, they're throwing rocks.
Yep.
They're going to throw rocks at you.
You wouldn't want to just be shouting random nonsense in a foreign language.
Exactly.
Sasquatch going to come running out of those bushes going, "What did you say about my sister?"
You have no idea what you're saying to them. They're just calling like heck.
And he's supposedly a pretty big dude, so you wouldn't want to mess with him for sure. No. Yeah, though, it's really interesting to see the array of people, some of them true believers, coming to listen to these specialist panels and stuff, and some of them looking for some cool local community goofiness, which is a lot of fun, for sure.
There were a lot of podcasters.
Yeah.
A lot of research teams and search teams and our car was labeled as the Sasquatch observation team because we're lazy and we were just going to observe it if they could find it. If they could search it out,
we'd watch it. We'd definitely observe. Yeah.
We'd go look at it, maybe with binoculars or something, and
make some observations. Bring a notepad.
I did see a guy that had a shirt on that said, "Bring me Sasquatch's head," or "Bring me Bigfoot's head." Rather.
Nice.
And I had it was an awesome shirt.
There's a lot of good shirts.
But I had to inform him that as long as you're within the town of Homelander's hometown, Whitehall, Sasquatch is a protected animal.
Yeah. You can't be killing Sasquatch in Whitehall.
No, we made laws about.
How would we observe it?
Yeah,
right.
It's dead. You have to bring it to a Sasquatch coroner.
That would be a goddamn travesty, honestly. Mm-hmm. If they finally found one and shot it dead, I'd want to move out of this country officially. I'd be like, this place has no sense of reason left.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what I kind of like about it is the entire thing it's a bit tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
I think everybody would, like, wow, wouldn't it be cool if there were a Sasquatch out there? And maybe there is, like, I don't expect him to come. But, don't expect him to show up. But, maybe there is a Sasquatch out there, or at least, like, it's one of those things like everybody at the festival just kind of wanted to let it be possible.
Yeah, sure.
And that was about the extent of, they're not desperate to catch him or anything. Just let it be possible. It's like there's still some magic in the world. If there's a possibility of a Sasquatch.
Yeah, the Adirondacks are pretty freaking huge. You can fit a bunch of the other major national parks into the Adirondacks. Yeah. And I believe Whitehall itself has about 7 million square acres of protected forest around it that makes up a large chunk of the Adirondack Park. And that's a lot of space,
And people still had the audacity to claim he's only on the West Coast.
Yeah, we saw a lot of theories. People came in talking about the speaker they might have seen, someone who's done a lot of research and put in the time, has the pith helmets and that sort of thing, and talked about it for a while, and they would come in and espouse some of those ideas that they heard.
It's pretty fun, for sure, especially at a place called the Freakopolis Geekery.
Yeah.
No point in being nestled here in Whitehall without being a little freaky sometimes.
Right. And I think they recognized our willingness to accept their freaky beliefs.
Exactly.
Because we might join them on some of those things.
Sure. It's always fun.
I would like to know that a Sasquatch could exist. A dimensional traveling Sasquatch would be ideal.
Right. Hopefully we get the good clone.
Yeah, you don't want to end up in that alternative Earth where evil Sasquatch got his run at things.
Oh, yeah, it'd be rough.
Yeah.
Like the Sasquatch with a goatee.
Yeah, exactly. All humans are made to wear giant floppy sandals all the time.
Yep.
What is up with that official patch that you pointed out? There's a United States official agency.
Yeah,
for monitoring air travel and whatever goes in
traffic.
and
out. Everything in the skies.
Yes,
basically.
In a military sense, they're taking this stuff totally seriously. Yeah, and everything that they could catch. Yeah,
satellites and passenger aircraft and all that stuff.
This new patch that they presented as a graphic, which a lot of people thought had to be a fake or put up by some fan or something, includes what appears to be a rather modern drone, a Russian jet, a unreleased experimental jet or bomber of sorts, and then in the corner,
an airliner, and then something else.
And then off to the side,
a UFO, an actual flying disc, rather unmistakably.
Very similar, really, to the Geekery. Like the Geekery's UFO is sort of a different kind of drawing of the same thing. What is the name of the agency again?
It's the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. The National Intelligence Manager for the Air Domain. The Director of National Intelligence.
So it's a branch of
The National Intelligence Manager
For the Air Domain. Yeah. So the National Intelligence Manager for the Air Domain bears this new insignia, which has been actually printed into a patch and is hosted as an image you can find on government domains that includes very distinctly a UFO.
Yeah, well, it just is a UFO. That's
Yeah,
what that, it's not like they're trying to hide it or make you think, oh, maybe that is. It's a UFO sitting there. And
Isn't
part
that
of the
wild, though? Like,
Yeah.
what is going on there, for sure? It might just be a piece of symbolic imagery.
right. That is an unidentified flying object. What
Sure.
could it be?
We keep track of all things, even up to and including unidentified things, but
you'd think they should have asteroids too then.
maybe
That's a different.
that's a different
department.
agency. Yeah.
A satellite. Well, I guess probably once you're outside the stratosphere or something, once you're
That is
it's a
NASA's
different
business.
It's somebody else's job.
Yeah,
But it
it's a
is
Space Force.
Right.
yes. It is definitely interesting, though. For a lot of the more, I'll say, open / conspiratorially minded, it seems unbelievable that the government would officially place a UFO on anything.
I mean, listen, they gotta give us something. After they were ordered to release all the stuff they have on UFOs, and we're still like, we're gonna not do that.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe they're going to start doing it on like a lot of stuff.
yeah.
Like replace all the stars on the flag with UFOs.
Okay,
That would be freaking awesome.
Like a fleet of UFOs.
that would be cool.
I thought that you were going to say that, like, they would turn the eagle on the president's insignia into a
Yeah, that too.
chupacabra. Just slowly shift things towards being a little more freaky.
Yeah, but that's when like Cthulhu stuff starts popping up. That's leading us down about. I prefer the cyberpunk path.
Yeah, we gotta be careful what we're asking for there.
Yeah.
To the freakified future.
The deep fried, freakified future. You know what is pretty cyberpunk and deep fried and is going to bring on the future? That's PlayStation VR 2.
I was gonna say Elon Musk.
Yeah, true enough, right? Yeah, I think they both fit.
He's deep fried.
As far as their Venn diagrams go, there's probably more overlap between Elon Musk and PSVR 2 than there is anything separating them.
Right.
But they had their big reveal recently enough. I don't know if it was really like this last week, but recently enough that we can talk about it for sure.
People have been waiting on it for quite a while now.
So the details on Sony's new VR system.
Yeah,
That's-
their next big entry into that arena. They have, of course, PSVR, the original kind of set, is out right now with a few titles and stuff, but was widely accepted as kind of an experimental first step, dipping their toes into the space. This one, and the features that it is promising, may very well put it at the head of the VR space as far as quality and offerings, and of course, first-party games and stuff that should come as no surprise.
I know there's one thing that I would love to see on it, on release, or released for it, on release. Half-Life Alyx.
Oh, yeah, well, Valve has been working in the VR space. Probably they have like a 5-year head start on most AAA companies because they've been very future thinking as far as their development goes.
They've definitely been pushing for it.
So what about Sony's new headset makes them believe that they're crashing through to the front of the line?
So there's some pretty standard features that are definitely top of the line as far as specs go. 120 frames per second, or hertz, refresh rate for those displays right in front of your eyes. Very adjustable, breathable, comfortable headset as far as what they're promising. High resolution, up to 4K, essentially. And foveated rendering is one of the big things that they're promising as a big leap in the VR space, which is essentially a technique where the computer only renders what you're looking at as high resolution using eye motion tracking, and the rest can be low resolution because based on the ways your eyes work, you won't really notice, only what you're directly looking at needs to be super sharp, and that can save a lot of processing power.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And saving processing power means that they can apply that to other stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm going to guess the Sony ones are going to connect to the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, of course.
So basically, they don't need to carry any kind of an engine. It's all coming from the PlayStation. They don't need to carry any batteries because
it's all
power for the
hardwired,
display.
yeah.
So there's a wire connecting, which is maybe a little less liberating. But if it means that the headset is really light and comfortable, that's going to make a big, big difference.
Yeah, I believe that most early access reviewers claimed that it was definitely about as comfortable as any high-tier headset, or maybe even more so.
Some of the trick's going to be how they manage the wire.
Yeah.
Like how heavy are the wires? How do they do cable management, essentially?
People can't be ripping their PlayStation 5s off the shelf left and right.
Right.
Yeah. Those things would be like throwing a cinder block on the floor.
Yeah, you don't want this thing to come with a bunch of big bolts and stuff, and where it tells you to bolt your PlayStation to the shelf. It's got to be pretty well managed cabling. The cable has to be long enough and light enough, for instance, to let you stand in the middle of a room if you're doing sort of that room space, real world distances kind of stuff. So that'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what they have in it for cameras and those sorts of things.
As far as design goes, one of the big things that I heard was that it has ample space for people who wear glasses as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So you'll be able to, all sorts of players will be able to play this and experience it in the highest quality they can manage.
When Half-Life 3 finally comes out and you're somebody who wears glasses, you can get the real Gordon Freeman experience.
Yeah. Of course, they're also throwing a bunch of cool technology that they've developed for the PlayStation 5 into PSVR 2, including their 3D temporal engine for sound and stuff. Should be pretty awesome in the VR space, and touch tracking on the hand pieces, so you can pick things up and whatnot.
Not to mention Sony's top of the line haptics.
The haptics,
in both the controllers and the headset,
which
right?
might be one of the coolest promises they're going to make, because that's a whole nother level of immersion. Even just when it's used well with the regular DualSense, it can add a lot to a game, like in the case of Returnal or Astro's Playroom. But in VR, long have people written sci-fi about being able to feel picking something up in VR, and honestly, Sony's probably going to have that tension and that real feeling that no one else will be able to provide for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, other companies are doing haptics, but Sony pushes that stuff to another level. So it'll be interesting to see whatever it is that they do with the headset and how they pull that off.
The engines, the rumble engines and stuff in the DualSense are unmatched right now.
Oh, yeah. And the triggering systems.
Yeah,
and
the
all
tension.
Of that. So I'm sure that stuff will apply in the handsets for the VR. But I'm curious on how they apply the haptics to the headset. I guess we'll just kind of wait and feel.
You made a joke when I mentioned that the haptics would be in the headset. You're like, oh, I just got headshotted.
I know, yeah. If you can feel a thump against your forehead or something when you take a headshot. I'm not sure I want that, but it would be kind of funny.
I think that they're going to have to rely on all sorts of additional information since it's so visually intensive and stuff to be playing VR. You're probably not going to be looking at your health bar as often, so they got to let you know when you're taking damage or whatever. It will be really interesting. I think, of course, the best thing that Sony can promise with any of their new hardware releases is a whole generation of excellent games, and they usually deliver on that front. So if they can do that, I think it will be a success. One of Sony's biggest games we've mentioned a few times, the development of The Last of Us HBO series, is being adapted into a HBO series. And, well, just before we dropped on down in our seats here to do the podcast, they came out with a brand new, like, 1.5-minute trailer.
Almost 2 minutes.
Almost 2 minutes, yeah. That's looking pretty good.
It looked crazy. It
Yeah.
looked crazy. I mean, like, and I guess in a lot of ways you would compare it to The Walking Dead. You kind of can't.
How can you? Yeah.
You can't avoid that. The difference being The Walking Dead, they tended to like stay out in really remote locations.
Super rural.
Yeah. So, easy to shoot that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Easy to find locations to do that. The stuff that I saw in the Last of Us trailer was kind of another level. It was definitely, again, large amounts of cast members.
Yeah.
But huge stuff going on in what looked like urban areas and stuff. So that was kind of new.
That surprised me because it suggests that this script and direction will very closely follow the game itself. Much of the game takes place in exact areas that are shot in those scenes in this trailer. So it seems as though they're not going to be deviating all too much from the first game story.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Which I would not mind. It's
Fine by me. It's a great story.
it's wildly good. And, they'll have more opportunity to expand on the characters and stuff. There's only so much dialogue you can cram into a video game before it becomes a movie. Or just ask Kojima, I guess. But Naughty Dog wanted it to be a game, too. So, there's really excellent character development and fleshed out scenes and a lot of showing and telling in the Last of Us game that lands really well. But here will be their chance to show as much as they want. And I think that it could be strikingly cool. And yeah, like, zombies have never faded from the public mind as a genre. The Walking Dead surely brought it to the forefront for a good 5 years there. But, the horror flavor of the year changes all the time. And they're due for a return all the time, in my opinion.
And the special effects department is going to have a field day with the clickers and whatever other monsters they encounter.
It looked like it could be pretty terrifying.
Yeah,
I would
if they could
imagine
pull
so.
that off, it would be a legendary TV series. Not to mention, they've got Pedro Pascal.
Yeah,
we got our first real longer views of him as Joel, and it looked pretty good to me.
No surprise there. He's a legit pro. I don't think he's really let anyone down in any of the roles he's taken so far, between Oberyn Martell in Game of Thrones or The Mandalorian for Star Wars. All that stuff. He pretty much nails it.
Man, how's this guy owning this stuff?
Oh, well,
He's getting the big roles.
yeah, absolutely. He's definitely a top-tier name at the moment. And funnily enough, the girl they have playing Ellie
Is the young lady Mormont.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lyanna
really?
Mormont. Yeah, who was a fan favorite because she was a bold young girl in a world that you wouldn't anticipate any such thing, in Game of Thrones. And she ended up getting some really cool scenes and stuff. And yeah, she was picked up as well. So it is Game of Thrones talent for the two leads.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
Isn't it? It's pretty wild. But I think that this has a chance to really nail it on the intense adult spectrum of shows that people really enjoy these days.
Mm-hmm.
And
This is an HBO Max series?
yeah, of course, I think it has a $10 million budget per episode.
Oh, wow.
They're throwing a lot of their weight behind this.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a few steps above The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Just with the special effects that they
The
showed
Walking Dead
there.
will look dated compared
Exactly.
to this. Yeah.
It'll look like they didn't do anything. Whereas these guys, obviously, it's a far different setting. It's farther into the future of the apocalypse.
but they're really going to push it visually.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can tell based on those sets and stuff they've already teased.
We really only had, in the trailer, there's like one headshot, right, of a
clicker.
A clicker,
Yeah.
I think.
There was a silhouette of
There's-
one as well, too.
But that was not something you could make out detail.
No, yeah. It looked, like a pretty terrifying monster, as it should. I also saw that it was announced that Ashley Johnson and Troy Baker, who voice Ellie and Joel respectively in The Last of Us, the game, are each credited in 2 episodes.
Oh, really?
Neither of them are going to be playing their characters, of course, but for cameos, that could be pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Another actor who's gathered a lot of attention for being part of this is Nick Offerman is going to have a role.
Oh, really?
And he is very well cast for the role that he's going to be taking, I believe, as Bill, the survivor, who's a very integral part to kind of the first arc of The Last of Us.
Yep.
So, but I mean, you could basically just see him as he's basically going to be playing Nick Offerman.
Yeah. Bill, spoilers, has a little bit of an emotional arc in the game because his gay partner ends up dying. But that's more kind of discovered and stuff. It's very interesting, but so there will be an angle to it that they'll play like that. But all in all, it's going to be a pretty easy role for the guy, I think.
He'll just have a Bowie knife or something.
Machete, yeah. And yeah, even the previews we've already seen of him, I would be able to point at him and say, he's playing Bill, that's really
That's
cool.
pretty funny.
And and it's Nick Offerman, so he's a cool actor too. He does a bunch of great stuff, so glad to see all this excellent talent. It's under an excellent production company.
It's one of our favorite IPs.
Yeah, some great trailers. I would be disappointed if it let me down. I'll say that. I'm anticipating some cool stuff out of this. Neil Druckmann himself, kind of semi-infamous, undeservedly game director for Naughty Dog, and I think president now of Naughty Dog.
He's pretty legendary.
Yeah,
At least to me.
Yeah, he's amazing. To some corners of the internet, he's the greatest villain in the whole gaming industry for introducing such wokeness to his productions. It's like, oh my goodness, give him a break. He is very involved, and if his influence is well spent here, they're going to have a hit on their hands, for sure.
I think it's going to be a big deal. People are kind of starved, The Walking Dead left a hole.
Yeah.
We're just flooded with fantasy at the moment
Yep.
between the Rings of Power.
That's not
House of the
satisfying a
Dragon.
lot of people. There's a lot of people they're not looking for fantasy.
Yeah, they're looking for something more grounded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully this will deliver. We'll see soon. It's coming in 2023, so looking for that official release date there, but it's definitely on our radar.
So it's my 21st birthday tomorrow. At least
Woo!
now that we're on the recording day of this podcast.
Right.
Yes, it is. And I had sort of posed the question, what fictional character would you want to go bar hopping with?
That's a pretty good one. There's some excellent choices for sure. Just for one evening, a legendary night out with a fictional character of your choice.
I got mine.
Who is it?
Austin Powers.
That would be amazing.
That would be fantastic. There is no way that you don't come out on top after that evening. Yeah, the dancing.
Oh my god.
Yeah. The experience would be complete, no doubt.
I had originally said Laura Croft.
For the action experience.
I feel like
She has a lot of great stories to tell.
exactly.
Yeah.
She'd give me some cursed amulet for my birthday or
You know
something.
tables are going to end up getting flipped. There's
Oh my god. There's gonna be a gunfight.
There's
Yeah,
some
yeah.
gunplay, yeah.
Oh, totally.
But I think it'd be worth it.
Some billionaire's gonna bring in a Bengal tiger.
Mm-hmm.
Laura Croft's gonna have to kill it.
Save me.
Yeah. This is the best night of my life.
No, but I was kind of rethinking that after. I feel like she's been beaten by Your decision there.
Sorry.
That's true. Oh, man. I'm having an easier time coming up with characters I would not want to.
Oh, sure, go with that.
The mighty Thor. He might be, he might look like he's a good time at a party. But the dude literally would drink the ocean dry if he had the chance. If it was made of beer, yeah. You're not gonna get in on any of the fun because he's just gonna take up all the rowdiness.
Yeah, he'd get dangerous.
Yeah.
What about Deadpool?
You would die.
Yeah,
You'd end up dead?
Yeah.
that's a death sentence.
Yeah.
Well, then I wouldn't want to go bar hopping with him.
There's quite a few characters that I wouldn't choose because I would become a red shirt, essentially.
Though now that you say that, Captain Picard
Captain
would be
Picard
pretty
would
cool.
be a good choice. Yeah.
Oh, well, you turn in early.
Play around a 5D chess and call it a night.
Yeah, maybe have an Earl Grey tea. And
Pretty much anyone that captains a spaceship would be a good answer.
well, originally I was thinking Captain Kirk.
Yeah.
And it got overridden by Austin Powers.
That's reasonable. I think Bilbo Baggins would be an excellent drinking partner.
He's a good one for a party.
Yeah, exactly. He's known for being a boisterous partier.
What about Durin or Gimli?
Gimli would be great for sure, though.
Han Solo?
Han Solo's gonna get wrapped up in something bad on the way, popping bars.
Too many of these guys are bad influences.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think more than likely Han Solo would, pull a bad deal or something.
Yeah.
He just leave without paying his tab.
Yeah, exactly.
He is a scoundrel after all.
I'm a little low on creds.
You got this, right?
Yeah, you're gonna cover me, right? That's how the night would end.
Chewie, on the other hand,
Would be an awesome drinking partner.
exactly.
How's it go?
Just looking around the shop.
For inspiration.
Yeah, for any of my D&D
Oh,
characters.
behind you is Tony Stark as Iron Man.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, he's an alcoholic.
Yeah.
He'd be doing, before you know it, he'd be doing, I love you, man.
Probably.
Talking to Jarvis, maybe. There's a lot of sad sacks out there.
I feel like Batman would start moping on you.
Ben Grimm.
Ben Grimm would start moping on you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, guys. It's supposed to be a party.
Yep.
Yeah, there's too many dangerous ones.
You have to choose wisely.
Too many mopey ones. Honestly, the list is more limited than you would imagine.
It's got to be a carefully tailored list as
It
to who's
does.
invited to go safely bar hopping with you.
Who else is a legendary partier? Casanova Frankenstein.
Yeah, but you don't want to...
Sidisco.
It's your disco room. I don't think you'd want to choose Casanova Frankenstein.
What about Willy Wonka, then?
Oh, he's
He's too strange.
really unpredictable.
Isn't he?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You lose, sir!
Oh, if you get a few drinks in him, once his necktie untied, he's going to be...
Yeah. I think
He's
he has
gonna be a mess.
daddy issues as well, I'm afraid. So
No doubt.
That'll come out.
I hope you don't fall in the meat grinder.
You Oompa Loompa. Yeah, he'd become cruel.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Vi from League of Legends. She would make a good drinking partner.
Mm,
You would have a totally platonic bromance with her.
I see.
It would work out quite well, I think. Yeah.
Fair enough.
She just seems like she'd be fun to drink with.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She got a lot of crazy stuff she could tell you. And I bet you she'd let you use the gauntlet.
Okay. I'll use that gauntlet.
Why wouldn't you? Smash a table.
Right. Just crush some glasses in your hand.
Why not?
Right. Fair enough.
How about one of the Doctor Who's?
Witch
Sure.
doctor.
Witch Doctor.
Tom Baker, the one with the scarf.
Yeah.
Sure.
He would be sophisticated as fuck to drink with.
He'd order some real James Bond.
James Bond.
Well, James Bond is Austin Powers. Is James Bond?
All these are trumped by Austin Powers.
Yeah. I think he might take the cake in the end.
I think we've kind of decided.
Why'd you have to start with the best possible option?
After that, it was hard to come up with anything to match that.
Oh, damn. We've been beaten.
Yeah.
There it is. With any luck, Tyler goes bar hopping tomorrow night with Austin Powers.
Yep.
Groovy, baby.
Groovy. Fingers crossed.
And that about does it for this one. If you like hanging with us, please subscribe through your favorite podcast directory. Join our Discord and check out our shop, the Freakopolis Geekery. See you next time.